Hello friends and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and to continue the conversation about what the devs are doing to kind of try to bridge the lines of communication, to open the lines of communication to the players. You probably have seen something like this, this image in game. And when I first saw it, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, okay, whatever, cool. And just like probably most of you. But what it is a developer blog that they're going to start doing, and they're going to be doing periodically. Now, this was the thing they essentially discussed in one of their open forums, their Q&A forum that they did a week ago. Now, what's interesting about this is I at first I didn't go to it. I didn't look at it. I didn't really understand what it was. But this first one, that at least the first one that I saw, was done on the 27th, and it is introducing CG Carrie. Now, obviously, this is not Carrie Fisher coming from behind the grave to speak to us. This is a totally different Carrie. But what's interesting is this introduction phase of her post. She says, coming from an MMO background, I find myself often making comparisons between MMOs and mobile games. You're always on the clock. Everything you make has to consider the state of every single person and every account on a live server with players from all over the world. Now, what was interesting is this. It says, I'm looking at you, single player in Vatican City. I'm curious to know who the single player in Vatican City is. I have a hunch, but it's probably not him. But that being said, it talks about really what they've been doing and what they plan to be doing with the Q&A. And I thought this was really fascinating to read. It said, you know, hey, last week a few of the producers and I did this live Q&A. Their goal is to do this periodically. And really what they've said is they have 13.5 pages of forum threads of questions worth of questions that they're going to go through and answer. And that's pretty awesome, and I'm really excited, and I'm hoping that this trend of open communication, open feedback continues. Now, I think what they'll probably do, or at least this is what I would do, is if they had a question that had already been asked or asked in a similar way, hopefully they're fielding different questions, right? So if there are 13.5 pages of questions, hopefully they're all different types of questions, not when are we getting Revan? When are we getting Revan? On which date are we getting Revan? Which date would you like to give us Revan? I mean, if it's the same question asked over and over again. But then it goes on further. It said, hey, February is our most recent quality of life updates, right? But by no means is that all that we have planned for this year. The February quality of life represented a lot of needed changes that had to be made with the underlying code and core of the game. But they do say that we'd like to share some of those planned changes with you now as part of our intention to improve communications. Part of these is this, you know, the communication plan. So they're going to have these blog posts, these dev blogs, periodically. They've got one scheduled for today when I did this, and it's Wednesday. Thursday, they're going to talk about community improvements. Friday, they're going to talk about character cadence updates, so that is incredibly important. And on Monday, oh, the thing that we have all been waiting for, raid reward improvements. Because, let's face it, even though I can solo the Rancor raid, I still want better gear. I still want good stuff, you know? Come on. Now, granted, I know that there are still new players who are struggling through the Rancor raid. We have videos for you. I have plenty of videos for you, and I'll leave links somewhere on this page on this video, you know, to go ahead. Now, what I am most excited for is, and actually the thing that I really like, I love making these speculation videos. As anyone who follows my channel knows, I love speculating wildly as to what is coming in the next couple of months, the next couple of weeks, or whatever, what the future of both Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is and Star Wars in general is. What she says here is, in the first week of April, it is my plan to release the road ahead for the next couple of months. The road ahead falls the beginning of each fiscal quarter. For those of you uninitiated, that means every 3 months, right? So every 3 months, we're going to get a road ahead for essentially the next 3 months. So that is going to be awesome. I don't think they're going to give us a detailed, this is what we're going to be seeing. I think it might be a little more than that little teaser than we've gotten in the past. So maybe my road ahead videos may not be as speculative, I guess. Maybe I'll have a little more concrete evidence. So that'll be a lot of fun. The coolest thing I think from this specific post is she says, finally, we want to provide some additional Q&A opportunities in the style of the Reddit AMA. But they're going to be doing their next Reddit style AMA forum, which is on the forum here, Friday, April 6th at 12 p.m. Pacific PDT. What that does is that's going to give them some time to answer these questions. That'll give them time to answer the 13 and a half pages worth of questions. But it also, and more importantly, gives you time, gives you important opportunities to really come up with stuff. Come up with questions, come up with ideas, come up with different things. That being said, though, this is a really hopeful post. Now, this was done on the 27th. I'm going to be reading the daily login challenge or changes. Now, this was really exciting. And this is actually what made me see these posts in the first place. If you guys are like me, you saw that pop up and immediately clicked away and like, okay, whatever. That's what I did. Didn't pay any attention to it. But here's what's interesting. Now, they did include 2 pictures of what the daily login will look like on a 31-day month. And I'll show those here in a minute. But I started reading this. I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Section 1, they're getting rid of some of the crappier stuff. So they're removing ally points. Okay, good. And low credit amounts. Seriously, we need more credits. And, 2-star training droids. I mean, who needs those? Those benefit a very small portion of the community. A 5-star training droid, however, benefits everyone. So I was like, okay, good, that's cool. Then it's like, hey, we wanted to break from the usual model of login reward system only being valuable at the end of the month of the time period it covers. So essentially what that means is like that character, when, so it continues, when we unveil a new character at the beginning to announce plans for exciting new releases in the following month, we want the rewards at the start of the month to reflect that excitement. We want people to get excited. And so it sounds like they're going to be getting more and more stuff. So it's like, all right, that's cool. Yeah, sweet. And then it continues like, this is why the single Zeta on a month sub 21 day appears on 27th day login and not the 30th. We know people miss logging in and here and there. And I started reading this. I was like, whoa, what? Zeta? Let me read that again. This is why the single Zeta on a month sub 21 days, whatever that, I can't even make sense of that. It's like, hold on. Let me skip down to, let me look at this. Okay. There's picture 1 and it's, it's got some pretty great crystal improvements. That's nice. And some, I don't remember what let me look at this, but yeah, like the money's, I guess, increased. There's the 2-star mods or the 2-star training droids. So maybe they're not giving out as many. I don't know. Second picture, 100 crystals, more. What? A Zeta. An Omega. Okay, Omegas are nice, but Zetas? You get 2 Zetas in a 31-day month from now on. I think that's like the majority of months. I don't really know off the top of my head. I'd have to look at a calendar or like break out the abacus or whatever. But what's interesting is on a 31-day month, you are going to be getting, if you log in every single day, 2 Zetas. Now, that's not a huge benefit, but it is at the very same time. Now, you're like, oh, well, so it's going to take me 10 months to unlock my first Zeta? No. If you're playing the game every day, it won't take you 10 months to unlock your first Zeta. However, in 10 months, you will have accumulated 20 additional Zetas if you've logged in every day. Now, granted, there might be a day here or there where you will miss because they're obviously 31 days. This is an awesome thing. They're listening to us. One of the hardest things that people have been struggling with is the Zeta crunch. And it happens every time they introduce a new gear mode or a new thing, right? It'll happen when they introduce ship hardware. It happened when they introduced Omegas. What's cool about this is they're listening to us because the Zeta crunch is real. It is a struggle to get Zetas. Now, I do consider myself an end game player. I have everyone completely unlocked with the exception of Treya and Hermit Yoda. But I've got Wampa. I'm working on Wampa all the way first, and then I'll get Yoda up. I've got everyone unlocked. I've got most of my characters geared to at least gear level 7, if not 8. Most of my characters are level 85. I've gone through and I've just spent all of my money getting them up, right? And now my galactic power is like over 3 million. But it doesn't necessarily reflect the most effective teams. It reflects a roster that's accumulated some random stuff. But with that, I do get about one. I can unlock a Zeta ability on a random character or whatever character I'm working towards, like once every 2 weeks. And that's not bad. I really am excited about this because as an in-game player, it's just a little bit of a boost. You know, it's not helping a ton, but it shows that they're listening. It shows that, hey, they're really trying to make the community as a whole, not just in-game players like myself, not just whales and krakens. They're helping out the minnow and the non-minnow because they want to strike a good balance. And I know that that's going to piss off some people. People are going to be like, oh, that's too much. They didn't do enough, or they didn't do enough, right? And you can't make everyone happy. And I'm hoping that that's a small minority, granted a vocal one, but I'm hoping that it is a small minority here because they really are trying. Now, could they do more? Probably. Will they do more? Probably. I mean, let's face it. This levels out the game, and I know there are going to be some Krakens out there that are going to be pissed, right? 2 more Zetas a month is going to help them, but it's also going to help other people. Now, I think what we're going to see is an arena that all of a sudden becomes a little more competitive. Now that they're going to make Zetas more available, I'm really curious to see how this will affect arena. But more importantly, I'm really curious to know what this is going to do to territory wars. I think this is going to be really, really cool because you're going to be going up against toons or against characters that you probably don't think have Zetas. You're going to have to be paying a lot of attention as to who you are attacking. And like, there's going to have to be a lot more communication now because more people are going to be getting Zetas. And it's going to make things challenging. And I for one, I welcome the challenge. I think that's pretty sweet. So what do you guys think? I'm personally really looking forward to finding out more about the community improvements. I think that's going to be geared a lot towards guild leaders, in-game chat, that kind of stuff. I would love to see that kind of stuff. We don't know. We'll have to wait till tomorrow. Friday, the character cadence release. I mean, I am just so curious to know what they're going to do with that because the character cadence has been something that they have been promising for a while and not always delivering on. And to be honest, I don't even know where a lot of the characters are because I've given up count. I've forgotten where we are with the character cadence. And, you know, I get it. They've got their stuff and they've got fires they got to put out. But that's the thing that I like because, again, I'm a collector. I like collecting these little characters, and it's what I like to do. And I really, really look forward to seeing what the raid reward improvement is going to look like. Because, I mean, we all know that the Sith raid rewards aren't great right now. They need to be stepped up. And, you know, I'm not unhappy with the others, the heroic tank and the rancor, but you know, maybe a few extra crystals in those for the top players, maybe some extra credits for the top players, top 10, top 20 players. Who knows? I don't know what they're gonna do, but man, I hope it's good. I am excited. If you haven't checked the forums out, does this bring you joy? Is this too little, too late? I look forward to seeing them try at least be more open. And as a game changer, I am very excited about it because that hopefully that means they're going to be giving me more information and more tips on how to help you guys, because really that's why I started this channel. I needed help, and I reached out to the community, and you guys gave me a ton of help. And so a lot of the ideas that I come up with videos are not mine. They're yours. And I have to say thank you for that, because it is great. And I love this community, and it's a lot of fun. But with that, guys, leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you think about this. What information do you hope they're going to give, or they're going to provide with this? Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. As always, friends, this has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and stay nerdy.